guys, I hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to be doing a video on Donald Trump and his health. So many of you guys have asked me in regards to Donald Trump and what's going on, and I have mentioned a while ago that if Donald Trump becomes president again, he would not do his full 4 years. And a lot of you guys want to know more information in regards to that, so I'm here today to bring that information to you. I will be connected with Archangel Raphael, he is the angel of health and healing. Archangel Raphael has brought many predictions in the past, such as Queen Elizabeth passing. So he is the right angel to connect with to let us know what's actually going on with Donald Trump's health. As we know, there's some bruising in his hand and some swelling in his legs. And I have mentioned before that that was his heart before all of that transpired. We have cards here. You guys like cards, okay? So I'm using them. So the balance card came up. Angels are saying that there is a bit of an imbalance when it comes down to Donald Trump's health. There is, as you can see, there's a heart right here, so there is an imbalance when it comes down to the heart. There is the way that the blood is pumping to the heart. The heart feels very weak, okay? So it feels like his heart rate is a bit more slower than what it's supposed to be. Also, angels are showing there is a bit of medications that he is taking in regards to the heart. We do see some issues when it comes down to cholesterol, triglycerides. There's a lot of issues when it comes down to the chambers of his heart, the way that the blood flows, as I mentioned, and it's just very weak, okay? Very weak. You know, this is for entertainment purposes only, by the way. I do have to say that. From what I'm picking up here, the main reason why, I see how here's the court system and everything, and this just represents his position of power. The main reason why he does not want to tell the world that he has, which I do see from Archangel Raphael, is heart failure, is due to ego. Angels are saying that he has a very high ego, and he feels as though if he tells the world that he is dealing with heart failure, that it will make him seem very weak as a man, and he doesn't want to lose his position. Also, he wants people to kind of look up to him and be inspired by him in some sort of capacity. Those that are in a higher position, and those that he sees as little, which he does see many of his supporters as little, unfortunately. He doesn't really see his supporters and the same energy as him, mindset as him. Like he doesn't see that. Also, I do see there is some issues when it comes down to his kidney. I do see some issues when it comes down to his kidneys, and he's very stressed out and he's very worried about it. Okay, the truth card just came up, okay? And his higher self and his guardian angels have mentioned to him, have told him intuitively that he will not be here for long. So he is in this very like despair type of like nervous energy, a bit down, not his usual self. I do see some issues with his hands. I can't tell if he's having like issues with like the bones or like the way that the blood flows. I see some like numbness and some tinglingness in his hands and his feet. It's like the bottom of his feet. You gotta watch how he walks, angels are saying, or Archangel Raphael specifically is saying, because the way that he walks, it's like his feet is like enlarged and it hurts when he walks at times, but he's trying to play this off like it doesn't hurt, and his hand just feels uncomfortable at times, not all the time. We do see that at times also his back hurts. He battles with a lot of inflammation. We do see his lymphatic drainage. It's just there's something that's here. It's going from like the neck down to the heart. Is very inflamed as well. Angels are saying that he is taking medications. The amount of medications that he is taking is at least 3 to 5. Should be more than that, but I'm just seeing like it's just like in a system, in a computer system, and I'm just seeing like the names of the medications. He does get them via IV because he does not like pills, angels are saying. So he does get them via IV. There is a doctor that's in the White House that does tend to check up on him often. But as I mentioned before, there is going to be a fall. I do see that there's going to be a random day because he's going to be sitting, and it's going to be a random day that he's going to get up and he's going to be walking, and then he's just going to pause. Because the main reason why he's going to pause, and this is going to be in the White House, and the main reason why he's going to pause because there's just dissociation that's going to take place in his body, and as he starts to dissociate, he's going to feel like this like weird butterfly-ish tightness in his chest, and he's going to go down. And that's what's going to take place when it comes down to his health. I do see 2 main doctors that have told him that he's really not doing well. I keep on hearing dial. Oh, imagine my back just. Yeah, he's really not doing well. Her dialysis. The grace card came up again, so this is the Holy Spirit. So angels are saying that he is really trying his best to go to heaven, but he's going to be in limbo for a very, 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 very long time. Very long time. So that means he's not going to cross to heaven, nor downstairs, if you will. We just see him being earthbound. Victory in reverse. See? What he is asking for, what he's wishing for, is not going to transpire. See? Meaning heaven. Why? Because he has caused a lot of harm in this lifetime. He's not really a good man. He's only a good man to those that he feels as though he could benefit of, or those that he has a big admiration or love for, which we do see as his children, his grandchildren. I do see one like son-in-law that he does admire, and there's a few people that are millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires that he does respect. But other than that, he doesn't really have any remorse or care for anybody. We do see that he doesn't even care for the vice president. Sometimes he just feels as though the vice president is just an, I gotta choose my words wisely, idiot. Okay. It says forgiveness heals. So right now he's going to go on like on a forgiveness train. Okay, so he doesn't know how to say sorry, so he's going to try to say certain things that it's going to be like, let's say for example, if he disliked somebody in the past that was in the public eye, he's going to be like, I love this person, you know, like he's going to say positive things because he does want to transition to the other side. As angels mentioned before, he's not a man of God. He's not someone that actually does pray, but he's starting to pray, but he doesn't know specifically who he's praying to. He's just praying, you know, like, but he's going to try to ask for forgiveness or like the goodness of people's hearts, but there's a darkness in him that it just switches. So it's like he can't be nice for a long time, or he can't be sweet for a long time, because being like truly like caring, that's not 100% him if it doesn't benefit him. Look what it says: Dear God and Archangel Raphael, I am willing to forgive myself and others in exchange for what I really want, peace and health. You see, because he is afraid of transitioning. Like he's afraid of what can happen once he does, you know, transitions. He's afraid of what's going to happen to his children. We do see that a lot of, there's a will that's here, and a lot of business matters is going to go to one of his sons that's already in business, because he feels as though like he could see his son in him. I don't know why I keep on hearing like it starts with an E. His name starts with an E. His name starts with, listen, I don't know, I don't care. Okay, well, I'm just gonna know. But it just feels like his name starts with an E, or this could be middle name. But he sees himself in him. We do see that he is going to leave a lot of money to his youngest son. Like trust. There's some savings. There's some money that's saved aside for him. A lot of millions of dollars for him. That can help him through life, through career, through education. I see one son though that he is going to pass a lot of, like, let's say certain golf courses or like restaurants or like hotels or something that's here, certain business matters, but I keep on seeing substance abuse on his end, so I don't know what's that about. And I feel like he's gonna get in trouble. He's gonna get in trouble in the near future because of it. His spirit is in distress, by the way. Donald Trump. Why it feels as though he sleeps by himself. It feels as though he sleeps by himself. The same card came up again. See, forgiveness heals. So they literally tell him like, you're really trying, but you cause a lot of pain to a lot of people. A lot of young adults, young children, older adults. There's like a spiritual lesson that he's going to experience, and that's due to his health. Prayers work. The same card came up, so he's going to be praying. We do see that if he was to do like dialysis, I do see that his heart won't be able to take it. Use your natural healing abilities. So he's like this right now, like weak, and he's like, is there any other alternative that can help me? And this is the thing, you know, because it's not because he's an evil person because of, you know, the reason why he's sick. It's just due to genetics, and it's due to poor eating habits. And this is kind of more of a lesson that we have to be very careful in regards to what we consume, what we put in our bodies, because, you know, when we eat very poorly, there's some, you know, there's like a cause and effect. So when you eat bad, you're going to experience some side effects or some illnesses. But he's trying to find like a different route. He's asking questions of this, like different things that can help him to make him feel better, because there's certain times that he tends to feel very fatigued, that he tends to feel very tired. He doesn't really feel himself. I keep on hearing headspace. So we do see that there is a level of memory loss, or like a level of dementia here. Improving health, but this is all he wants. He wants to improve his health. So he's just, you know, he's willing to take any medication that he can take, but not via the mouth, via like an IV that can help him. I do see that when it comes down to something about soda, he loves Coca-Cola, or like a cola, like a dark soda. Home health. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen when it comes down to, like I mentioned, there's a doctor that goes to the White House, or a doctor that's already in the White House, that helps him with these medications, and everybody around him is being hush hush. So the day that he falls is going to be extreme chaos. The public is not going to know right away. It might take at least like 72 hours. Because I just see like him being rushed into a hospital, a small hospital. And there's a lot of running behind him. And I just feel as though like he's gonna have like an out-of-body experience, and he's just going to look at himself. And they're going to put a lot on his heart. but I just see like a flat line. And I see his breathing is going to be like gone. Now, before this transpires, a couple of days before, there's going to be a talk one-on-one with JD Vance. He's mentally preparing himself. He has spoken about this with his wife, with certain family members that he's close to, and certain colleagues. Well, like that's people that's in the White House or that goes to the White House. I hear colleagues. I gotta say that. I'm sorry, but I just see that he has been talking about it, and he's ready. And he feels as though this just might happen sooner or later. But honestly, I don't see him being as bad as Trump. And I don't see a lot of his MAGA supporters or just like people in general are really gonna like support him. Like, I just see that he's not going to be the best president, but he's not the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you know, like it's just like okay. Like but I see like there's certain people that's there in DC that's not going to want him there for long either. You know, like they don't even want him there, period. They want somebody else, you know. So it's just it's a very weird dynamic here, but he's preparing himself just in case of anything, because he got the news, the word that Trump is really not doing well, and there's plans over time of transition of power, but they just don't know when will this happen in regards to the downfall of President Donald Trump. One of the main things that I do see that JD Vance is going to this is the thing, and the main reason why angels are saying that he's not going to be as bad because his mind changes all the time, and he's a bit of a narcissist, but his views doesn't really align with Trump, meaning that a lot of things that Trump is doing he doesn't really agree with, and at times he just feels as though Trump is very like unintelligent. So it's just like certain things that, like, for example, like let's just say tariff, he doesn't really 100% believe in it, you know. So it's just this certain viewpoints that they don't really align with, which is really crazy. So yeah, guys, I don't see him being there for long, not gonna lie. Yeah, see, his ego. Look what I mentioned, his ego. It says the illusion of being trapped. It says accept responsibilities for your situation and then make choices that support the path to happiness. So he's battling with depression. And then it says over here addictions or unhealthy habits. So unhealthy, like, you know, eating, angels are saying that has led to this. And, you know, just wanting to be better, wanting to be inferior. And as you can see there, this is him, right? And he's trying to kind of like free himself. Can you see that? But angels are saying that he's an egomaniac, which is why he makes irrational decisions, and a lot of decisions that he makes is illegal. We do see, by the way, there's a lot of things here, guys. Oh my god, this video is getting so long. There is some people that is doing energetic work on him that will affect his bloodline for years to come. And it's not a laughing matter, I'm not laughing of that, but it's just like, it's the amount of people that's doing work on him. And angels, of course, you know, they're protecting me, so I won't see too much, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So it's gonna affect his bloodline. So it's gonna affect not only his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, unless they do something like a major cleanse. And it's not just like one cleanse, it's like actual like work. And it's not, anybody can't just do it for him. Like let's say if one of the MAGA supporters want to do something for him in his behalf, now like they have to actually go to somebody. Okay, the victory card came up in reverse again. It came up in reverse again. So yeah, his health is failing, guys. If I could kind of give you guys a timeline and when this fall may happen. See, the loving, compassionate, self-sacrifice, it came up in reverse. They're saying that he's not loving, he's not compassionate, like he's none of that. And this is how he sees himself. He sees himself as a king on the throne. He really, his true aspirations is to be like PUTIM, if I could say that. Because he feels as though that's going to make him feel like accomplished. He also admires PUTIM charisma, and he wants to have that too. It's just a power trip that he wants, and he's not grounded. And everything that he thinks about is just like financial security and prosperity, but he's gonna have more losses as this year progresses in the following year until his passing. Oh yeah, so the timeline is, I do see that it's definitely going to be next year for sure. Like angels are saying that by next year they don't see him. If I could say Christmas 2026, we don't see him there. Okay, now don't beat me up if he's still there. But energetically, I don't see him. I don't see him there. I see JD Vance with his family in there. I don't see him there. I don't see Melania there. No, I don't see him there. I'm asking again. See, I don't see him there. I don't see him there. And like it says, unfounded fear, expecting the worst, does create. Oh my God. And look, it says sleepless nights. And like I said, he sleeps by himself. Look, he sleeps by himself. And like I mentioned, look, there's an empty bed, right? There's some candles. So his passing can happen near the full moon, close to a full moon, or on the full moon, okay? But yeah, I don't see him. I don't see him there. You see where it says 9, so that could represent 9 months, 9 weeks. It could be around the 9th, okay? But I gotta say it again. I truly don't see him in the White House next year. By like winter season 2026, I don't see him there. And it's gonna be a very random day. I gotta tell you guys, a very random day. So it might be between a Tuesday or a Thursday. A Tuesday or a Thursday. The wheel. This is representing the world. Wow, it says a fresh new start or ending of delays, sudden unexpected changes, a very positive change in your life. Wow, the world's gonna celebrate. And I'm not just saying because I wish that. No, you know, at the end of the day, despite one's viewpoints, I don't like to wish anybody bad, you know. But the world legit, and I'm not saying I'm a MAGA, I'm not saying, I'm just a messenger, okay? I don't want to get misconstrued or whatever, okay? Please. But they're saying that the world's gonna celebrate. There is angels that work with the archangels, and they're called principalities. And the principality oversees the world. And the principality is telling the archangels to tell me that the world's gonna celebrate. That it's like, you know, when you're like holding your breath and it's like, and then you're like, it's like that sign of relief of when they announce that he's no longer here. That's gonna be like, okay, thank you. It's like, but I see a lot of people sad too, but a lot of people's gonna feel relief. And before he passes, I do see it's like the energy is gonna shift, which means everybody is gonna feel weird, or everybody is gonna feel like off. You might be sad or angered or confused, headaches, nausea, walking weird, like something is not going to be right. And that's because something big, like a transition like that, is gonna take place. It's like when before Queen Elizabeth passed away, and I predicted that, as I mentioned, and a lot of people told me before she passed away they started to feel weird. It's like that, okay? But I do see a lot of world leaders, as there of course going to be a new transition of power. The transition of power is going to be like, when I mean immediately, it's going to be like that. Like, he passes away, boom, new president, like that, like fast. Like, he has to take over JD Vance immediately. And the thing about this, like I said, someone there doesn't want him to be president. Like, it's just like they'd rather have somebody else. So I don't see him there long either. It's crazy. It's gonna be like a chaotic storm, but he has to step up. Like, he has to step up immediately, and he's gonna be like, okay, like it's like, all right. And it's like, as that happens, they're gonna start taking out all his stuff, Trump stuff, all his belongings. They're gonna take all his belongings. And then JD Vance starts to move in. He starts to move in. And I see him like very emotional, because it's gonna be like, how the freak this happens. He's a cursor, by the way, but I don't want to say how the fuck this happened. Like he's gonna be like, how did this happen? Like, can I do it? I do see his wife is very supportive of him. She actually loves him. She loves him. Okay, like, she actually does love him. So she's gonna be his cheerleader, but she isn't the brightest bunch, like, at times. I'm not saying that she is stupid, but it's just like, when your mind's just not always there. It's like you're so used to like your person doing a lot for you, so it's just like, but I'm telling you, she's not as bad as like Melania. Truly. She might do something in regards to children. They might have a dog in the White House, like a French bulldog or a bulldog or a small dog. I don't see a big dog here. But this just might be in regards to childhood health or childhood education. It's something that's here. I do see the cabinets is going to change when it comes down to the White House. JD Vance is going to make sure that he gets people that unfortunately aren't the best. But like I said, I don't see him there for long. Enjoying the fruits of your labor. He's actually gonna love his job. He's actually gonna love being president. We do see that he's not gonna take a lot of vacations like Trump, no, but he is going to be traveling to a lot of presidents and world leaders, and they're not gonna like him. You see the number 9 came up again, so they're not gonna like him due to the fact of his viewpoints and associate himself with Trump. But he's just going to try to work with these world leaders and ask for some forgiveness. I just see very strict laws though when it comes down to women's health. Very strict laws when it comes down to marrying the same sex, It just might be the wanting the removal of that. He might put a law of it, because I do see like birth rates is low. Like if you give birth, we will give you like money, or we will pay for like, you know, time. It's just something that he's gonna want to do. Oh yeah, something in regards to reproductive health, because I just got a sharp pain in my sacral area. Let's pull out 2 more cards, because this video is getting kind of long. And look, confirmation, I got a notification from the Flow app. Can you guys see? I had a notification from the Flow app, so that was confirmation here. It's going to be a lot in regards to reproductive health, so get ready for that. It says too much going on. Yeah, it says stress caused by many positive opportunities, so he's going to be very overwhelmed. Everybody right now, it says seeds planted well, efforts or investments will be rewarded for the future, but there's going to be a lot of good things that he's going to do. So it's very weird, this energy here. But as of right now, like I said, full moon, he's going to pass near the full moon, close to the full moon, or on the full moon, Donald Trump. It says the ability to multitask, so it's going to be like crazy in that White House. They're planning now, they already have meetings in regards to the transition of power, what can happen when it does happen, what to do, the things that need to be moved. JD Vance has been truly preparing himself. So yeah, so Donald Trump, I don't want to say he's going to finish out this year, but something's really off this year. Something's really off too, but definitely next year by winter 2026. So remember, winter season starts around November, December, okay? Then it's like, you know, January, February, March. But I don't see him in the White House Christmas next year. Oh, I'm getting a lot of sharp pains. Same card says cautious. Came up in reverse. And it says upright, it says someone you can completely trust, but it came up in reverse. So they're saying that you cannot trust Donald Trump. So there's going to be a lot of things that it says hidden but well intentions, but it's in reverse. So he doesn't have good intentions for our country. As you could see, there's one fish by itself. So he wants to isolate us, and that's his overall goal. He does want a dictatorship. We do see that before he passes away, there's going to be very high, like I see red, of a recession. It says, oh, this came up in reverse. It says logical, insightful, and this came out, you know, upside down. So he's not logical. Okay. Anything else, angels? What else do you see? His love life. So in regards to Melania Trump, Melania feels like she's here in New York. Like it doesn't feel like she's there. She doesn't even want to be married to him no more. She doesn't love him. She stopped loving him long ago. But I feel like those, like, she's there in the sake or for the sake of her son here in New York. But she's just ready. She's really ready for freedom. Once Donald Trump passes away, of course, there's, you know, some documentation that has to take place and stuff like that. She wants her money. She will get her money. I do see that she's not gonna honor his life. Like after a while, like, you know, of course she's gonna be there for her son emotionally, mentally, but after a while she's gonna be like, fuck this. So you're gonna see her going out more vocal, more and eventually she's gonna be with somebody else, like she always wished for. So yeah, so, and the thing about this, he knows that Melania, man, he knows that she don't love him, okay? And he wants forgiveness, okay? He wants forgiveness. It says forgiveness and the ending of challenges. And it's just like, damn, like, you know, I really messed up, you know? So if I could kind of say, like, you know, when he, yeah, see strength, personal power, and assertiveness. Yeah, mainly he wanted a woman that was going to stroke his ego, that was going to be like his rider and listens and does to whatever he says. It says over here, compassion that brings about forgiveness. So he's just going to be in a forgiveness train, honestly, before he passes away. I split the card again. The king card came up again. Split the card again. It says focusing on the negative. It says things not turning out the way you anticipated. It says forgiveness of self with others. Everything happens for a reason. And as you can see, there's broken cups there. So this is the downhill of Donald Trump. He's going to pass away. If I could tell the world, just please prepare for this transition mentally. There's going to be, beforehand, there's going to be a lot of people in his camp that's going to pretend that they're writing like him, and they're not. It's not him that's writing, because he's a bit weak to write and to think properly. He is not going to be in the right state of mind due to the fact that he has early stages of dementia. You're going to see a lot of swelling in his face and his neck, and you're going to start seeing some bruises around the upper chest and neck area, and you're going to start seeing him very, very, very pale. Ooh, see, and his body's already dehydrated. You're going to start seeing him very, very, very pale, and his eyes like yellow pink. You may have at least a few more public viewings, but over time you may not see him a lot. So yeah, so as of right now, angels are just asking for the world to be positive at the moment, okay? Because they are, you know, really trying to prepare for this big transition for everybody. And it says no need to worry, okay? Because the scales will start to balance itself out. See, big happy changes. That's going to bring a lot of big happy changes to the world, not only to those that's here. And trust and know that the fact is, you know, angels are by your guys' side, supporting you. See, success. Last card. Recovery in reverse. So Donald Trump is not going to recover. I just asked if he's going to heal from this, and they say no. And there is a spiritual compromise. And as you can see, there's some scales here. So like I said, the scales are going to balance out. I know you guys want the files before, I gotta say like that, I know you guys want, you know, the files before he passed away. I don't know if it's gonna be like a leakage online. I just see someone leaking something online in regards to certain information about him, and something that, okay, I gotta be careful in just saying, but yeah, I just see like a leakage of some documentations online. Older woman, pale. It says time to get out of a situation. Older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman. Is this Rosie O'Donnell? This looks like her. Like she's gonna be happy, but it doesn't feel like she's here in America. She's not here. I could have sworn she was. They saying no, she's not here. Okay, I could have sworn she was living in Florida. Wealth. Right now, he's, like I said, he's preparing like his will, or like there's a will here. He's preparing the finances to transfer this over. But I do see that like there's some like debt that he owes. Pin, new job, career. See, look, this is in regards to JD Vance. I'm telling you, that's his new job. His new job is going to be president of the United States just for a short while. See, depression, anxiety. This is Donald Trump, and they calling him a vulture, because that's what he is. His soul is like a vulture. But you know what vultures, when you pass away, the vultures, they eat your flesh. So they're literally letting you know that he's going to pass away soon. It says over here, compliments from my admirer. So the compliments is basically people that's in DC, people that's in the White House, people that his administration. Thank you, angels. I'm like, what is that called? And look, this is the desk. So he's going to be behind his desk the majority of the time, but he's not gonna want cameras on him. And you know how there's usually cameras in the White House? Like he's not gonna want, after a while, like cameras there. because he doesn't want anyone to see how sick he is. I do see like a lot of like ambulance going a lot to the White House. It says pay attention to your work, but he's going to be so sick that he's gonna need like an assistant like that's gonna take over, like in regards to like doing everything for him, because it's like he doesn't want to give up him being president, like, you know what I'm saying, because that's how sick he is. So it's like, I need someone there. It feels like there's a male here, but it feels like a female that's going to be helping him. But with Donald Trump, oh my god, my head's hurting. Trouble. See, look, before he passes away, I'm telling you that file, I'm telling you, that file, the information about that file is gonna come out. These two cards want to come out. Happiness in reverse. Shark, it says take action. So it says take care or there will be loss of material wealth. Like I said, there's some debts there that he doesn't want to pay off, but he has to pay off. It says Lion, time to act. He's rich poor. Have you ever heard of that? Owl. So he's rich poor, so he's not as rich as many people think he is. Short journey, as I mentioned, the journey is short. It's cutting short right now. Family wishes come true. That's in regards to wealth. That's in regards to his heart, guys. So yeah, his heart is failing. He's dealing with heart failure. He's dealing with kidney failure. He's battling with dementia. And they saying by next year, there should be like a major incident that is going to be a transition of power. It could be this year, but the timelines from now to next year. So it could be any time, and like I said, it could be between a Tuesday to a Thursday. There might be like an incident on a Saturday, but it's something about Tuesday and Thursday they're emphasizing on. This is the longest video that I have done. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Muchas besos. Bye bye.